Because yesterday you said you're
No. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about a feature called as Web to Lead feature. So in the previous sessions, we have discussed how can we create the lead records and how can we assign the lead records to the queues manually by using that change option which is available beside that lead owner field. And we have also discussed about how can we assign the lead record to a queue by using assignment rules. By using lead assignment rules, we can able to assign a lead record or a case record to either a user or a queue based on some certain conditions defined by the user. Now, whenever you are going to be capturing the leads, already we have discussed it in our initial concepts itself, where we are going to be promoting our organization products by using the various ways of marketing processes, like we're conducting some stalls, we're conducting few campaigns, we're conducting some TV advertisements, theater advertisements, trade shows, banners, web conference. Like that, so many ways are there in order to promote your organization products or the services. And during that campaigns and during that stalls or during that advertisements, few people will show interest to utilize your products or the services. The people who showed interested in our products or services, those are called as leads. Those are also called as prospects. Those are also called as the potential customers. Now, this is the only way to capture the lead records? No, we are having one more option is also available. Okay, we are having one more option is available. Suppose for example, let's take a general scenario. Suppose for example, I want to open a bank account. So now we are having so many banks are available. We are having some SBI, Andhra Bank, ICICI, Axis Bank, Citibank, HDFC, like that, so many banks are there. So now from all these banks, ICICI Bank services are very, very fast. And the branches are also more. So that here, I would like to open a new ICICI Bank account. Okay, I want to open a new ICICI Bank account here. So now whenever if you want to open a bank account, then we are having two options are there. So now I want to open a bank account here. So now I want to open a new bank account. So now this is my requirement here. In order to open a new bank account from the ICICI Bank, I want to open a new bank account. Then what are the various ways are there in order to open a bank account here? So now as a customer, okay, as a customer, we have to go to that bank. As a customer, we have to go to that bank. So now as a customer, we have to go to that particular bank. So now, whenever if you want to open a bank account, then we have to go to that associated bank branch. Okay, we have to go to that associated bank branch. So now, the customer has to visit that bank branch, or they have to open a bank account, nothing but they can show the interest through the online also here. So now in this kind of scenario here, we are having so many customers are available. We are having so many customers are available. So nothing but these are the various people are available. Okay, these are the various people are there. Who wants to utilize our banking services? Okay, who wants to utilize our banking services here? So now when coming to the ICICI Bank, okay, when coming to the ICICI Bank, they are going to conducting so many campaigns here. So assume that when coming to the ICICI Bank, they're conducting a campaign. They're conducting a campaign. They are conducting a campaign. And during that campaign, we can able to show your interest over here. Now during that campaign, you can able to show your interest. You can show your interest during that campaign over here. So now here, whenever you are visiting that ICICI Bank campaign, then at that time, the marketing people of ICICI Bank, they will be collecting your details and they will be giving all the required information to you, like as what kind of accounts they're offering and what is the process for each and every bank, each and every account type, and what will be the documentations are required, what will be the amount that we need to pay, what kind of services they will be offering for that account type, everything they will be giving that information to you. And along with that, they will ask you to fill up a small form over there. So now they're giving a small form to you. In that form, you have to provide all your details like your first name, your last name, and then your address details, your contact number, your email ID, and what type of account that you are interested, everything they will ask you to provide those details inside that form. And once you have submitted the form to the marketing people, now the marketing people will share those information to their sales team. Now the sales people from that ICICI Bank people will contact you shortly and regarding that the new account process. Now the ICICI Bank sales team will contact you shortly and keep on they will be in touch with you in order to open a new account, and whatever the documentation required they will be giving all the information to you. So that here by using those documentations we have to go to the bank branch. Okay, we have to go to that bank branch and then we can able to open a new bank account also here. So now for that here, when coming to the person has to go to that bank branch over here. The person has to go to that bank branch. So now the person has to go to that bank branch. Assume that nearby my place, okay, nearby my place, I'm having some bank account, bank branches available. So now the nearest ICICI Bank branch you can able to visit. The nearest ICICI Bank branch you can able to visit and you can able to open a new account also over there. So now the people are going to be visiting that bank branch and they're going to be opening a new bank account over there. Now, so now they can able to open an account and from there they can able to start utilizing that bank account in order to perform the transaction. Suppose if there is any case, nearest by my place, I don't have any bank branch. So now the bank is very far from my place. Then how can we open an account? So in order to open an account, we have to go to that bank branch. We have to submit the required documents. It will take more time. So I don't have the time. I'm busy with my office work. I'm busy with my personal work also. So that I cannot able to spend the time to go to that bank branch to open a new bank account. Then what is the alternative way here? Do we have any option is available or not? Yes, there is an option is available here. When coming to the ICICI Bank people, they're providing a website to you. Okay, they're providing a website to you. So that is called as ICICIbank.com. In that ICICIbank.com, they're giving so many information to you, nothing but they're promoting their organization information with the help of this website. So what kind of services they're offering, what kind of products they're offering to their customers, and which locations they're offering the services to their customers, what type of customers are available with them, everything they are going to be giving this information to you with the help of this website itself. So now in this kind of scenario, when coming to the ICICI Bank people, they are going to be providing the website. Now through this website, they would like to get some information from the people who wants to utilize that ICICI Bank services as well. So now for that here, if you want to show your interest, okay, if you want to show your interest, then you can visit the campaigns conducted by that ICICI Bank and we can able to show your interest so that those people will collect your details and they can be able to contact you shortly in order to explain the process about that, the new account process. And during that campaign's time, I was out of station so that I was unable to visit that campaign, and recently I came back to the city again. So now ICICI Bank people are not conducting any campaigns in my location. And moreover, we don't have any ICICI Bank branch nearest by my place. It is very far from my place. So now unfortunately, I'm not able to get the time. I'm not able to spend some time to visit the bank branch and to open a new account. So for that here, instead of wasting your time, instead of visiting the bank branch manually, we can able to show your interest through online also. Okay, through online also, we can able to show your interest. For that here, ICICI Bank people has provided one option called as, inside that personal option, they're providing one option called as apply online. They have given an option called as apply online. Now what exactly is apply online option here? If you want to utilize any services offered by the ICICI Bank, it may be the accounts, nothing but the savings account or the current account or the fixed account or whatever, no need to visit our bank branch. Just to show your interest through our organization website, then one of our person, one of our employee will come back to your place. One of our employee will come to your place. No need to waste your time. We will come back to your place over here. So now for that, they have given an option that apply online option here. So now what exactly is apply online option here? So what kind of features we can able to apply through online here? Now let's see. So now when you click on apply online, it is giving the options to you. Now what kind of features you want to apply online? You want to apply online the accounts. What type of account that you want to open here? Like as a savings account or a pocket wallet plus savings account, 3-in-1 account and B2 savings account. What kind of account that you want? And if you want to apply for online through for that loans, then what type of loan that you want? You want the home loan, car loan, personal loan, gold loan. Or if you want to apply for a credit card, then what type of credit card that you want here? For that here, they're giving some information to you inside that. If you want to deposit the amount through online, then what type of deposit that you want here? Like as the fixed deposits, recurring deposits, I wish flexible deposits or what? Or if you want to apply for the insurance policies, investment plans or forex exchange plans, or what kind of things that you want to apply online. Select the option here. Suppose for example, I want to apply for a new savings account. I want to open a new bank account over here. For that here it is giving an option called as, inside that accounts you will be having savings account. So now just to click on that savings account over here. As soon as when you click on savings account, it is providing one form to you. Okay, it is providing a form to you. Now it is giving that information to you that you are a new customer or you are an existing customer. So what do you mean by this new customer and what do you mean by this existing customer? When coming to the bank, so many customers are available. Now you are the new customer for this bank branch or you are an existing customer. Nothing but this is the first time you are going to be opening a ICICI Bank account, or sometime back in the previous, nothing but sometime back in the past, have you used any time our ICICI Bank accounts or not? If you have used any ICICI Bank account, then we can able to reactivate that account again, or else this is the first time you are creating a new ICICI Bank account, then we can able to open a new account for you. So now for that here, it is giving the two options to you. Now, as a customer, now this is the first time I am going to be applying for the bank in order to open a new account. We don't have any account as of now in this ICICI Bank. This is the first time I'm opening a new bank account here. Now click on new customer. Now it is asking you to provide some details about that. Now it is giving some form to you, nothing but a small form is available to you over here. Now in this form, it is expecting your details. Now tell about yourself and then choose your account type. Start savings now. Grow your savings. Nothing but 4 graphical user interfaces are available. It's like as a wizard. Now initially it is asking for you to select your state and the city here. Now I'm selecting the state as some Telangana. I'm selecting the city as some Hyderabad over here. As soon as whenever I'm entering that Telangana and the Hyderabad, it is asking you to provide your Aadhaar card number here. Okay, it is asking you to provide your Aadhaar card number because every bank account should be linked with an Aadhaar card number here and the PAN number also. So now initially it is asking for the Aadhaar card number. Once you click on verify button, it is asking you to provide the remaining details like as your first name, your last name, your email ID, your mobile number, your present address and the permanent address, what type of account that you want to open, everything, nothing but a same small graphical user interface is available. In that graphical user interface, you have to provide all the details. And finally, once you click on submit, then automatically these records are going to storing inside that ICICI Bank organization's lead database. Whatever the details that you have entered, these details are going to storing inside the lead table of that ICICI Bank application. Nothing but he is also one of the new person who showed interested through online. Through online, he showed he's interested to utilize the ICICI Bank account. So now here, once you click on submit after providing all the details, it is going to be storing inside that lead database as a lead record. Once the lead record has been created, then after that, what will happen? You are aware of that. One of the sales people from the ICICI Bank organization, they will contact you shortly and they will give the required information. They will come to your place to collect the required documentations and they will be providing a new account to you here. Nothing but without wasting our time, without visiting that organization, we can able to show your interest through online also. Now, whatever the lead records you have captured through online, those are called as web to lead. Okay, web to lead, nothing but capturing the lead record through web, through organization website, through online, that is called as web to lead feature. So now the lead records which you have captured through online, these are called as online leads. Okay, online leads. So this is what the feature offered by the Salesforce people to you here. Now, so now when coming to the Salesforce. Now, so whatever the lead records you have captured through online, those lead records are called as online leads. So now Salesforce is providing a feature that is web to lead by which we can able to capture the lead records through online. So now, by using web to lead, we can capture online leads. Online leads who's showed the interest by using our organization website. By using our organization website. Now in that organization website, what we have mentioned, we have placed a small form, nothing but we have placed a small form. In that form, we have provided some fields where the people has to fill up those details. As soon as when you click on submit, automatically those data has to be storing as a new lead record inside my lead table automatically here. Then how can we capture these online leads through our Salesforce here? Now, when coming to the Salesforce, if you want to capture the lead record, then we are having two ways are there. Suppose if you want to create a lead record, then go to your Salesforce instance, log in into your Salesforce instance by providing your credentials, click on Leads tab. It is providing the graphical user interface to you to create a new lead record. Click on new button, select the record type. When you click on continue, a form will get opened for you. In that form, you have to fill up all the details. When you click on save button, automatically a new lead record will be getting created inside that lead table by default. So now, when coming to the people who are showing interest in your organization website, those people are not having the credentials of your Salesforce account. Those people might not be able to access your Salesforce instance. Then at that time, how these people can able to show their interest here? So now for each and every organization, okay, for every organization, they're having their own website. Suppose ICICI Bank people are having their own website. TCS company will be having their own website. Microsoft organization will be having their own website. IBM is having their own website. And each and every banking organization, each and every business people are maintaining their own websites in order to promote their organization features and the products. So now in this kind of scenario here, inside your organization website, we have to add a new form. In that form, we have to provide all the fields, what will be the required fields in order to create a lead record. You can provide all the fields inside that form and place that form inside your organization website. The people who wants to show their interest, who wants to utilize your services or the products, then those people can able to use that website and they are going to be submitting the details to you over here. So now in this kind of scenario here, we need to design a graphical user interface. That graphical user interface we have to place inside our organization's website. Like as in your organization website, you will be having so many forms are there, like as about us form, contact us form, home or home tab will be available, and what kind of services we are offering that will be available. Like the same way, we can able to provide a form also for that online leads. Now, as soon as when the user click on that link, automatically the form will get opened for you. In that form, he will be providing all the details. When he click on submit, automatically with these records, it will be creating a new lead record inside your lead database table. So now for that here, we have to design a graphical user interface, and then that graphical user interface we have to place inside your organization website here. So now for that, how can we design this graphical user interface? As of now, we don't know any web technologies right now here. Then how can we design this graphical user interface? So now for that here, Salesforce is giving one option called as web to lead, where no need to design that graphical user interface manually by learning some web technologies like as some HTML and the HTML and everything. Just we are providing some certain graphical user interfaces to you by which we can able to design that graphical user interface over there. That form we can able to design automatically also here. Then how can we implement that? Now let's see this feature here. So now for that, Salesforce is providing one feature called as web to lead feature. By using this web to lead feature, we can able to capture the online leads, nothing but the lead records which you have captured through that organization website, that is called as online leads. So now when coming to the leads, we are going to be capturing the lead records by conducting some campaigns. And the second way is we can able to capture the lead records through online also here. That flexibility will be available. Now the second way is online leads. Online leads, these are also called as web to leads. Online leads, these are also called as web to lead features over here. Now this is the second way in order to capture the lead records. Not only conducting the campaigns to capture the lead records, we can able to capture the lead record through the online also here. Then how can we capture this lead record through online? By using our organization website. For that here, we have to use our organization website over here. In that organization website, we are placing a form by using the organization website. So now by using our organization website, we can able to capture the lead records through online also. That flexibility will be available to you over here. So now by using that organization website, we can able to capture that online lead records. So now in this kind of scenario, how can we capture these records here? Now we will see practically over here. So now first of all, we have to design a graphical user interface where the user can able to enter some data in order to show their interest here. So for that, we have to design that graphical user interface. Then we don't know HTML programming anything, then how can we design that graphical user interface? So now no need to worry about that graphical user interface. Salesforce is giving some options by which we can able to generate that code ready-madely also. That flexibility will be there. Now, so now in order to configure that Web2 lead, first of all, we have to enable, okay, first of all, we have to enable that your Salesforce organization will be receiving the lead record through online, okay, through online. So now for that here, we can able to enable that feature inside that organization's website. So now here, how can we enable that feature here? So now let's see practically here. So now in order to enable that Web2 lead feature inside your Salesforce organization, we have to go with this navigation. We have to enable the Web2 lead feature in our Salesforce organization. Because sometimes I don't want to capture the lead record through online. If anybody wants to show their interest, then they have to conduct, they have to capture, they have to come to my organization website. So they have to come to my organization directly here. There is no option of online option here. So now, in this kind of scenario here, we can disable this option also here. So for that, go to the setup menu and click on it. Go to the build menu in the left panel. Click on customize and expand it. And click on leads and expand it. And the fourth one, click on Web2 lead. Click on Web2 lead link. Okay, click on Web2 lead link. Go to the Web2 lead settings link, settings section. Select the checkbox, enable Web2 lead. Select the checkbox, enable Web2 lead, and then click on save button. Click on save button. So now this is the navigation that we have to use in order to make your Salesforce organization to be capable to capture the lead record through the online. So now sometimes if you don't want to capture the lead record through online, then we can make it disable also here. Okay, we can make it disable also. So now at that time, Salesforce will not receive any lead records through that organization website. So now depends upon your requirement, we can able to make it enable and we can make it disable also here. Now, I'm giving the note point. By default, Web2 lead feature will be enabled by default here. Enabled in each Salesforce organization. In every Salesforce organization, by default, Web2 lead feature will be enabled by default. Salesforce is going to be enabling that feature here. Then how can we see this feature over here? Now let's see practically. Let's go to your Salesforce instance. Go to the setup menu. Go to the build menu in the left panel. Go to that customize. Click on leads and expand it. Go to that, you will be having web to lead. You will be having the web to lead link is there. Click on web to lead link. Inside that, you will be having a section called as web to lead settings section. Now you will be having one checkbox called as web to lead enabled. Okay, web to lead enabled. Nothing but do you want to enable this web to lead feature inside your Salesforce organization or not? By default, this checkbox has been selected. Nothing but web to lead feature is enabled by default by the Salesforce. So now, okay, by default, it is going to be enabling that web to lead feature inside your organization by default. So that this Salesforce organization is capable to accept that lead record through online also here. If you want to disable that, then we can able to click on edit button and we can able to deselect that checkbox also here. Unselect that checkbox and make it save. Nothing but your Salesforce organization will not receive any lead record through organization website. Nothing but online leads we cannot able to capture in this case. Now let's see here. So now I want to make it enable. For that here we can able to select that web to lead enabled. So now whenever you are going to be enabling that web to lead feature, then if anybody has created the lead record through that organization website, then who will be the owner of the lead record here? Suppose if I am logging into my Salesforce instance, whenever I'm creating a new lead record, then automatically the currently logged in user will be the owner of the lead record here. Because I am the person who are creating the lead record. So if somebody is going to be sending the lead record details through the organization website, then who will be the owner for this lead record here? So now for that we can specify any of the person. Nothing but we have to select the user to whom you want to make that lead record owner over here. Now it is providing that default lead creator, nothing but who is the person who will be the owner for this lead record right now over here. Because somebody is going to be sending the details from that organization website. There they cannot able to enter all their details here. Those are not part of our organization. Those people are not the customers of our organization. So at that time, who will be the owner for this lead record? For that, we can select a default lead record owner here. So now for that, we can able to select any of the owner, nothing but generally the people are going to be selecting the admin person is the owner, or else we can create a separate user for that web to lead, and that person will be the owner of that lead record by default here. And then whenever the lead record has been getting created, nothing but as soon as whenever you are showing the interest, after entering all the details inside this ICICI Bank form, finally when you click on submit, then what we will know, you will be getting some confirmation to your email ID that your details has been submitted successfully. So one of our salesperson will contact you shortly here. Nothing but it is sending some confirmation mail to your email ID here. It is sending some confirmation notification to your mobile alert also here. Nothing but based on that we are getting some confirmation that my details has been successfully submitted to the ICICI Bank people, so that those people will contact us within 24 hours time frame. Now then how can we send a notification to those people here? So for that, whenever you are going to be selecting that, enabling that web to lead, if anybody has showed interest, then at that time we need to send some response notification to the people here. Then how the person will notify, how the person will get the confirmation that the detail has been submitted successfully or not? For that, we have to send some notification also over there. So now for that, we have to specify the default response template. Nothing but I want to send one email notification to the customer that this is the email template which I'm going to use to send the notification to the customer over here. So that we can able to prepare your own email template. You are aware of that, how to prepare the email templates and what are the various types of email templates available in Salesforce. Now by using any of the type, you can prepare an email template. That email template we have to select over here by selecting that lookup icon. By using that lookup icon, we can able to select any of that email template over here, by which we can able to send that confirmation notification to that particular customer over here. Now I'm selecting that Salesforce is providing that new customer email, that is a sales, that is email to new customers. I'm selecting this template over here. Now click on save. Nothing but as soon as the customer has, nothing but one of the person has showed interest through our organization website also, to his email ID automatically I would like to send one notification email here, the confirmation email that your details we have received successfully, and one of our salesperson will contact you shortly. Now, so now here, once you have enabled that Salesforce to be get capable to access the lead record through online, Then design that graphical user interface and place into your website so that the people can able to access your website and by sitting their home by using their devices, and they can fill up the details. When they click on submit button, those details come to your Salesforce organization lead table by default. So now for that here, we are going to be using that graphical user interface. So now it is giving that information to you that now there is a website is available. Inside that website, I'm having a small form like as the first name field, last name field, email field, phone field, and the fax field, address fields, product interest field, everything is available. Now after entering all the data, when you click on submit button, finally, this data will be coming into your Salesforce instance. It will be creating a new lead record automatically with these details here. Now, so now in this kind of scenario here, we are going to be generating this web to lead form. So now then how can we generate this web to lead form? Now we will see practically over here. So now once we have enabled that, okay, once we have enabled that, we need to design that graphical user interface. The first step inside that is we have to enable that web to lead feature inside your organization. This is the first step. And the second step is generate that web to lead form. Web to lead form. That is, we need to design a graphical user interface. Graphical user interface to provide the details of the prospect or lead or the potential customer, so that the person has to enter his details like as his first name, his last name, his email ID, contact number, phone number, fax number, his mailing address details, his PAN number, and then along with that the product which he is showed interest. All the details he can able to enter over there. As soon as when they click on submit button, automatically those records will be coming into your lead table as a new lead record. Then how can we design this graphical user interface over here? So now in this kind of scenario, okay, in this kind of scenario, we have to go to that same navigation over here also to generate that web to lead form. Go to that setup menu and then go to the build menu in the left panel. Go to the customize, expand that leads and click on web to lead link. Go to that web to lead settings section, and inside that you will be having a button called as click on generate web to lead form. Generate web to lead form button. And then select the required fields to be placed on the graphical user interface. And then enter the redirect URL, nothing but the return URL. Enter the return URL to which you want to redirect the user after submitting the details. After submitting the details. And then click on generate web to lead button. And click on generate web to lead form button here. So this is the navigation that we have to use. Nothing but after enabling that, now we have to design a graphical user interface. That graphical user interface we have to place into your website here. Now then, how can we design this graphical user interface without learning any HTML programming, without learning any web technologies over here? So now for that, Salesforce is giving one option to you. We can be able to generate that form ready-madely also without writing any code over here, without learning any programming languages. So now just to go to this navigation, go to your Salesforce instance. Inside that Web2 lead settings section, you will be having a form button called as create Web2 lead form. You will be having a button called as create Web2 lead form button is available over here. So now just to click on that create Web2 lead form, it is asking us to select the details over here. Nothing but what fields information that you want to place inside that graphical user interface. What fields you want to place inside that graphical user interface. Now it is populating all the fields available inside that lead object. These are the various of fields available inside the lead object. And then on your graphical user interface, what fields that you want to place, for that you have to select these fields here. By default, Salesforce is selecting the first name, last name, email, company, city, state, or provenience. Now, do you want these fields or do you want some additional fields also here? So now for that here, we can able to select your own fields, whatever you want, and you can arrange the fields also by using this up and down navigation button, in which order you want to place these fields on the graphical user interface. Now, I want to provide that first name field, last name field, and then I want to place the title, and then I'm expecting that the email and the company, and then I would like to place that fields like the industry to which he is associated and his annual revenue and the rating and the lead source, and I want that phone number and his website details, his fax number, and along with that I want few details like the product interested, nothing but which product he is going to be purchasing right now, his PAN number, his passport number, and then I want to get his details like as his address details also, like I want to get his street address, and then city, state, and the postal code, nothing but the zip, and then the country. So these are the fields information that I'm expecting right now here. Okay, these are the information that I'm expecting right now. Now, so now here I want to provide all these fields inside that. And along with that, if you want to provide the lead record type, then you can select that lead record type also over here. So now here, these are the various of fields that I would like to place inside my graphical user interface. And now the user has to enter the details inside these fields. And then as soon as when you click on submit, it is going to be, we need to redirect the user to some other page over here. Like suppose, for example, after entering the details to create a new Salesforce account, for example, here, I'm opening that form, developer.salesforce.com/signup in order to create a new Salesforce account here. So now after entering all the details inside this form, finally when you click on sign me up, it is going to be creating a new account for you with the details which you have entered, and then it is going to be redirecting you to the next form that is called as the thank you form. Nothing but a thank you, nothing but you are almost there, your account has been ready, and then you can able to activate that account by visiting your email notification. Like that, they are going to be redirecting the user to a thank you web form here. Like the same way here also, in our Salesforce instance also, after submitting all the details to capture a new lead record, we can able to redirect the user to a thank you web form also here. So now that is that you can specify, you can design your own thank you form, and to the thank you form, we can able to redirect the user over there. But now here we don't have any thank you web form is available. So that here I would like to redirect the user to any of the website here. I'm redirecting user to https www.google.co.in. Nothing but as soon as when the user has submitted the details, and then the user has to be redirected to that Google website over here. Because we don't have any website or any user interface, so that I'm not specifying anything over here. Now, click on generate button. After selecting all the fields which you want to place onto the graphical user interface, we can able to arrange the fields by using the up and down navigation buttons and specify that return URL to which URL that you want to redirect the user after submitting the details, and then click on generate form. As soon as when you click on generate button, automatically it is generating the HTML code based on the fields which you have selected over here. Now this is the HTML code has been generated by the Salesforce to you by default. Now copy this HTML code, paste into your notepad, and then here we can able to save this information like as a HTML page, where we can able to access this HTML page from that browser itself. So that I'm going to be specifying the tags like as HTML and then by HTML. Nothing but it is indicating this is a HTML document inside that. And then along with that, I'm specifying the body tag and the by body tag. Now you have to specify your HTML tag and the body tag inside that new text document, and whatever the code that you have copied from that Salesforce instance, that code you can able to paste in between that body tag. Just to paste that code. I'm pasting that code here. The code I have pasted over here. Once you have pasted the whole code, okay, once you have pasted the whole code, then we can able to save it here. Now save this file with the extension .html or .htm. Now I'm saving this file on my desktop. I'm saving this file with the name web2lead-form.html, or we can able to make it save as HTML also here. You have to save this file with the extension .html or .htm. Now click on save. So now here it is going to be generating one HTML form to you. Okay, it is generating one HTML form to you, where we can able to use that HTML form from any of the browser, and we can able to create our lead record over here. Now, so now here this is the HTML form that we have generated right now. Now there is a web page is available right now over here. So now we can able to use this HTML form in order to create your lead record inside your lead database here. So now I would like to open this form. Right click on that, open with some Firefox. I'm opening this particular HTML document from the Firefox right now. Let's open with Firefox or the Chrome or whatever that you want. Now it is providing that graphical user interface to you. Like as first name, last name, title, email ID, company, industry. In that industry, all the industry names has been populated over here. And then rating value, all the rating values, hot, warm, and the cold, everything. And the lead source we are capturing from web, phone inquiry, everything is available. Product interested, all the product names has been populated over here. So now in this kind of scenario here, whenever you are going to be generating that HTML web2 lead form, Salesforce is going to be providing one HTML code to you based on the fields which are selected during that form generation. So now this is the HTML code we have generated here. Now we have to give this HTML code to your organization's web designer, because when coming to the organization website, that organization website will be maintained by some web designer people here. We have to give this HTML code to the web designer and ask him to add some styles so that this user interface will look like attractive. By default, this is going to be looking like as a white background and the black content is available here. This is not looking like attractive here. So that we have to ask that web designer to add some styles, add some background colors, add background some images so that we can able to make this user interface look like attractive. So now when coming to the organization website, that organization website is going to be maintaining by some web designer people. Those people are going to be keep on updating that information inside that website itself. They're going to be adding some new information about if there is any new openings are there inside the organization. If the company got a very new client, then they are going to be adding that information inside that. Like that, keep on, they are going to be uploading that information inside that organization website. So that now in order to add that new form also to the website, we have to contact that organization web designer. Now we have to contact that organization web designer and ask him to make this graphical user interface look like attractive by adding some styles, by adding some images, by adding some background colors inside that. So now the organization website web designer is going to be adding some styles to this particular graphical user interface. He will make this graphical user interface look like attractive. And then once he has been made that graphical user interface look like attractive, then he is going to be placing this HTML form inside that organization website so that everybody can able to access this website here. And they can able to access my form, they can enter the details over here. Now, in order to create that lead record here, then how can we create? Let's see practically here. No need to go to your Salesforce instance. I don't want to use my Salesforce instance. I don't want to use that leads tab and the new button to create a new lead record. Now, from now onwards, I would like to use this graphical user interface, nothing but the simple HTML form I would like to use to create some lead records here. So now I enter the lead records name here. So now I'm going to be creating the lead record inside my lead table by using this graphical user interface over here. So now here I'm entering the first name as Sam Kumar and the last name as Sam Ranjan. Now this lead person is the Kumar Ranjan. His title is he is a software engineer. Now email ID is Kumar Ranjan @some gmail.com. Company is some TCS. Industry is some manufacturing. Annual revenue some 7 lakhs. Rating is some warm. Lead source is some web. Through organization website, we are creating that lead record. Phone number. I have entered the phone number. Website. I'm specifying some tcs.com. Fax number. I have entered the fax number. Now this person Kumar Ranjan is showing the interest in one of our product called as it is some projectors. He wants to buy a projector here. Now enter the PAN number. I'm entering the PAN number. I have entered the 10-digit PAN number here. Passport number also I'm making it as the same as the PAN number. Now street field. I'm specifying the street as some Santosh Nagar and the city is some Hyderabad. State is some Telangana. Zip code is some 500123. Country is some India. Now the record type which I'm selecting is the product lead record type over here. Nothing but the person is going to be accessing my form, my HTML form from my organization website. After entering the details, when you click on submit query, automatically these details will be sending to the Salesforce server. It is going to be creating a new lead record with this lead table with these details here. Now click on submit query. As soon as when you click on submit query, all the details will be forwarding to the Salesforce server. Now it is going to be redirecting the user to that Google page here. Whatever the web page that you have specified as a return URL, to that return URL, it is going to be sending that, redirecting the user by default. Now, I want to cross-check that with these details whether my lead record has been created or not. Let's go to your Salesforce instance. Go to the leads tab. Get all the lead records. Okay, get all the lead records. Now, Search the lead records which are starting with the last name as Ranjan. Click on R. You will be having that record is available Ranjan Kumar, nothing but the Kumar Ranjan. What are the details that you have entered? With those details, it is creating that lead record for you here. Now this lead record name is the Kumar Ranjan. So now he will be entering that company name as some TCS. Title is software engineer, lead source is web, industry is manufacturing, annual revenue 7 lakhs, and the password number, address details, everything is available here. What are the details that you have entered? All the details has been getting entered by default over here. Nothing but what happened by creating that particular lead record through that organization website. Okay, through that organization website, we can able to create the lead records inside your Salesforce as well. That flexibility is available to you. No need to create the lead records manually by using that Salesforce instance. By using that organization website also, we can able to capture the lead records here. Now, for example here, previously in the last session, we have discussed assignment tools. Now, when coming to my organization, I'm having some different sales teams are there. For the Hyderabad, I'm having a separate sales team. For the Bangalore, I'm having a separate sales team. In Chennai, I'm having a separate sales team. In the Mumbai, I'm having a separate sales team. If any of the persons showed interested from the Hyderabad location, those lead records I want to forward to that Hyderabad sales team, nothing but Hyderabad sales group, so that my sales team can able to contact those lead persons and they will convert the lead as a customer. If anybody showed interested from Bangalore location, then I want to assign this lead records to that Bangalore sales team, so that those people can able to contact that person, they can follow with the person and they can able to convert that lead as a customer. Then how can we assign this lead record to my queue? Nothing but how can we assign? For that here previously we have configured that assignment rules. Now we are having as a lead assignment rules, we are having that case assignment rules also. In order to assign that lead record to either a user or a queue, automatically we are configuring that lead assignment rules. In order to assign the case record to either a user or a queue, automatically we are going to be configuring that case assignment rules. So now, whenever I'm creating that lead record by using my organization website, okay, whenever I'm creating that lead record by using my organization website, at that time, after entering all the data, we have to select one checkbox called as assign using active assignment rules. Whenever you are selecting this particular checkbox, okay, whenever you are selecting this particular checkbox, then only this record, on this record, it is executing that assignment rule, and if any of the conditions has been satisfied, then it is going to be assigning this lead record to that associated queue. Nothing but if you did not select this checkbox, then it won't execute that assignment rule on this record here. It won't assign this lead record to that associated queue. But when coming to my web to lead, we don't have this option here. We don't have this particular checkbox to be get placed on that web to lead form. Then in this kind of scenario, what happened here? Whenever you are going to be configuring the web to lead, by default, Salesforce is going to be executing that assignment rules by default. So nothing but this point is very, very important in the entry point of view also here. How can we place this checkbox on that web to lead form that we need to execute that assignment rules? Because we don't have this option to be get placed over there. Then how can we find that assignment rules? By default, for that web to lead records, Salesforce is going to be firing that assignment rules by default here. That's what, okay, that's what here, when you observe this particular record which we have created just now, let's see this record here. Go to your lead records, Kumar Ranjan lead record is there. Now he is the lead owner right now here. Hyderabad sales queue. What is this Hyderabad sales queue? We have created a queue. Whatever the records are having the location, nothing but the city value as Hyderabad, those records will be assigning to that Hyderabad sales queue here. Nothing but what happened, instead of assigning all the lead records to the administrator here. If I'm assigning the lead records to the administrator, now in a single day, some 1,000 people are showing some interest over here. Because when coming to the festival season, if I'm offering some discount, then more number of people show interest through that organization website. Why? Because is those people cannot able to come to our organization because there might be a very long queue maybe there in front of my company. So now for that here, most of the people are going to be showing interest through the organization website itself, through online itself. So at that time here in this kind of scenario, how can we assign? For that here, whenever you are going to be submitting the details through that organization website, automatically Salesforce is going to be firing that assignment rules. So now based on the city value, it is going to be assigning that lead record to that associated queue automatically, so that now it has been assigned to Hyderabad sales queue over here. It is not assigning to the administrator directly, because if the administrator is in the vacation for 4 days or for 1 week, then so many number of lead records will be in the queue. So for that, it will be a very big problem for us. So for that here, I don't want to make that admin as a owner always. I want to redirect the user to that associated queue by default here. Now, so now let's make a note of it here.
Firoz,
Yeah.
those record types, like those are the internal, right? How would the external user know the record type? We are having a drop down of record types, right?
Yeah. So for that here, we can do one thing here. Whenever you are going to be creating the records through that organization website, we can able to remove that particular record type field from there, so that whatever the records are coming into that, okay, whenever they're creating a lead record through that organization website, this will be assigning to a specific record type by default.
Okay.
That possibility will be there. Now, so now for that here, when coming to that organization website, Salesforce will find the assignment rules, for the Web2 lead, records by default. Okay, by default. No need to select the checkbox. Enable like as assign by using active assignment rules checkbox. Automatically, Salesforce will find that assignment rules for the Web2 lead records by default. Rules automatically. Now, so that here, assignment rules will be getting applicable for that Web2 lead records by default. No need to select this checkbox manually here. Now, so now here I'm having a question. Now we have created that lead record here. Then how this user interface know this is the Salesforce instance in which we need to create that lead record? I'm having some 5 accounts are there. I'm having some 5 Salesforce accounts are there. Then why it is creating this lead record inside this Salesforce instance only here? How does it know? This is a very, very important question here. So now for that here, when coming to the Salesforce instance, how can we identify each and every Salesforce organization?
So in the HTML action, it has a URL, right? Based on that one only it will go, right, Firoz?
Yes. And then inside that, how does it know this is the Salesforce organization to which we need to interact, in which we need to create that lead record? I'm having some 5 to 6 Salesforce accounts are there. Then how does it know this is the Salesforce instance in which we need to create that record here? Each and every Salesforce account will be getting identified by using what? A unique identification number that is called as salesforce.com organization ID. Already you are aware of that. So now whenever you are going to be generating that HTML form, inside that you will be having 2 fields are very, very important over here. Let's see. We are having 2 fields are there. Now inside that HTML code which has been generated by the Salesforce, at that time, it will be having 2 fields are there here. Like these are the 2 fields are there. These 2 fields are very, very important over here. Now, let me copy this 2 fields code. Now, this is the 2 fields code is available right now over here. Now, inside that field, these fields will be looking like as the hidden fields. Nothing but these are the hidden fields which cannot be visible to you on that graphical user interface. Now, inside that HTML form, Salesforce is maintaining the 2 hidden fields, which is going to be maintaining to which Salesforce instance it has to be get connect, in which it has to create that lead record. In order to connect to that organization, it has to know that ID of that organization. So for that here, it is going to storing that ID of the organization as part of that field called as OID field. Inside that HTML code, it is maintaining one field called as OID, nothing but organization ID. So what is that organization ID to which we need to connect here? This is the ID of that organization over here. Okay, here is the ID of that organization. Now let me copy my Salesforce.com organization ID over here. Now let's go to your Salesforce instance. Go to the setup menu. Go to that company profile. Click on company information. When you come down, you will be having that Salesforce.com organization ID is available here. Copy that Salesforce.com organization ID and paste over it here. I'm pasting over here. Now, let's compare this one whether both are same or not. Now, these two both are same. Nothing but what happened, whenever you are going to be generating that Web2 lead form, then Salesforce is going to be capturing the idea of that organization to which it has to be get connect here. So now this value will be available inside the HTML form in terms of a hidden field. That field will not be visible to the users on the graphical user interface. And based on this ID, it is connecting to that organization. In that organization, it is creating a new lead record. Now, after that, one more field is available here, which is also a hidden field that is called as return URL. Now, in this return URL field, it is going to be storing that URL to which it has to redirect once the details has been submitted to that Salesforce instance. Once the details has been submitted to the Salesforce instance, to which URL we need to redirect the user. For that, it will be storing that field value as a return URL here. These are the two most important fields when coming to the entry point of view as well. So now here inside that HTML form, you will be having the two fields are there. One is OID field, nothing but organization ID, which will be holding that ID of the organization to which it has to be get interact here. Even though you may be having multiple Salesforce organization, depends upon the ID which you have specified inside this HTML code to that particular organization only it is going to be creating the new lead record inside that. So now once it has been created the lead record, it is going to be redirecting the user to that specified return URL which you have mentioned inside that return URL field. So now this is the way it is going to be identifying that particular instance it is creating that new lead record over here. Now come to that most important features over here. So now here the governor limits. So what are the limitations are available for the Web2 lead feature in Salesforce? So now how many lead records we can able to capture through the online in 24 hours time frame. Now Web2 lead is a common functionality in every real-time application. Everybody is expecting this Web2 lead feature. So now when coming to the Salesforce, for example, assume that we are having an organization called as some Dell. Dell is providing the various products to you. Now in the normal days, Dell may not offer any discounts, but during the Christmas and during the New Year, Dell is offering some discounts on their products. Whenever they're offering some discounts, so many people showed interested to buy the Dell products over there. So now in this kind of scenario here, some people will go to that Dell showroom, they will stay in the queue, and then they will purchase the product here, whatever they want. Sometimes the people will be showing their interest to the organization website because they may not able to spend some time, they're busy with some other work, they may be out of station also here. So at that time, they can able to show their interest through that organization website as well. So now in this kind of scenario, the people are going to be generating the lead record through online. So now in this kind of scenario, how many lead records we can able to capture in 24 hours time frame here? Now Salesforce is having some limitations to you. Then what are those limitations? We'll see practically here. Now we can capture maximum of 500 lead records through online in 24 hours time frame. Nothing but per day we can able to capture maximum of 500 lead records through online. As soon as the first 500 people, whenever they are going to be submitting the details by using my organization website, then those records will be storing inside my lead table automatically by default as a new lead record. Now, After 500 also, some more people are showing interest here. Then what about those people records? Those records will not be storing into my lead table here. Then what about those records here? So now for that here, Salesforce is going to be maintaining a queue called as Salesforce queue. Okay, Salesforce is maintaining a queue. Now Salesforce is maintaining a queue called as Salesforce queue, which will be holding maximum of 50,000 records, which will be associated to lead, which will be associated to case also. So now whenever, if the 500 records are crossed, nothing but in the 24 hours time frame, more than 500 people are going to be showing that interest here. At that time, the first 500 people's records will be storing inside my lead table directly. And after that 500, whatever the additional records are there, those records are going to be storing inside that Salesforce queue. Now let's make a note of it here. Once the 500 limit has been crossed, then the additional records or additional request will be stored into the Salesforce queue. Salesforce queue, which can hold maximum of 50,000 records of type, both lead and case. Nothing but this particular Salesforce queue can able to hold both lead records as well as the case records up to maximum of 50,000 records here. Now, sometimes there is a case here. Okay, there is a case where when coming to my organization, I'm offering some 25% discount here. Because of this Christmas festival, I'm offering some 25% discount. So now so many people are showing interest over here. Now, first 500 lead records has been storing inside my lead table directly. And then the additional request has been storing inside that Salesforce queue. Now up to how many? 50,000 records. Now the 50,000 records are also has been full. Nothing but the queue is already full here. Then what about the additional request here? Now in this kind of scenario here, when coming to the Salesforce, it is going to be aborting those requests automatically here. Once the Salesforce queue has been full, then the remaining request will get aborted. Simply Salesforce is going to be aborting those requests here. Then how do we know as an organization, okay, as an organization, how do we know more than 50,000 people are still showing interest in our organization products here? So now in this kind of scenario here, once the web to lead record has been aborted, then Salesforce will send an failed email notification to the Salesforce administrator for the first 5 failed lead records.
Firoz, in that case, I can use my Visualforce page and I can do, right? Is there any limitation there in the number of records per day in each table or each object?
See, if you want to use your Visualforce page, then we have to grant the access on that Salesforce instance to those people, right? Because if you want to access that Visualforce page, those Visualforce pages we can able to access by using your organization credentials itself.
No, I will develop a Visualforce page, and if it is a public-facing application,
okay,
the form will be there, right? I can create a Visualforce page form, and whenever they save, and it will go to lead record, right?
So at that time, we have to maintain that integration process here. You have to develop your own sites, nothing but Salesforce.com sites you can develop, which is a anonymous access sites. Through that sites also the people can able to show the interest over there.
But do they have a limitation?
But even though if you are going to be sending the data through that Salesforce site also, it has to come to the Salesforce instance only, right? There it will be counting that how many records has been created as of now through that web. So that here
Then
Salesforce is going to be maintaining that.
then also it is a 500 records in the lead object per 24 hours.
Limitation, yes. 500 records will be
Like,
the limitations over here.
even any object or only lead object? For example, account, campaign, or like I can
No.
see
See,
account and campaign.
Web2 lead is going to be creating the records only in the lead table, not in the other objects here. For the other objects, we don't have this option. Only for the lead only, we are having this option here.
Yeah, I got it, Firoz. For example, I have an account object.
Okay.
Or I have a vehicle custom object.
Okay.
So I have all the custom object. I can generate my Visualforce page.
Okay.
The external users, anonymous user can enter the information in the vehicle and submit.
Okay.
So each time if they submit, they create one record.
Yes.
So in that case also, do we have
you
a
don't have
500?
any limit. Yeah, we don't have any limit. Only for that Web2 lead, we are having that 500 limit. For the remaining, there is no limit here.
Oh, okay.
You can create a number. Now. So now when coming to this Web2 lead, we are having that maximum limitation as 500 lead records will be directly storing into your lead object by default for 24 hours time frame. If more than 500 lead records has been receiving in 24 hours time frame, the additional request will be storing inside the Salesforce queue. Up to 50,000 records will be stored inside that Salesforce queue over here. Still, 50,000 records has been stored inside that, and then still we are getting some more requests from that people here. At that time, those requests will be getting aborted automatically. Salesforce cannot able to hold those records. At that time, it is going to be for the first failed record, 5 failed records, nothing but 50,001. Whenever the person is, if 50,001 the person is trying to be creating the Web2 lead record, now the queue is already full. It cannot able to hold that record, so that here it is going to be sending that failed notification to the Salesforce administrator that now your Salesforce queue has been full. We cannot able to hold more number of records. Now one person has showed the interest, so this record has been failed. We cannot able to store that record here. And 50,002, nothing but the 50,000 second person also has created here. Then also it will be sending that failed notification to that Salesforce administrator. And the 50,003, then also it will be sending that notification. 50,004 and 50,005. Once 50,006th person is trying to be creating the record, Salesforce will not send any notification to the Salesforce administrator here. For the first 5 failed records, Salesforce is going to be notifying to the administrator that your Salesforce limit has been crossed, and even though Salesforce queue is also full, we cannot able to hold more number of records, so that we are going to be ignoring those records operation here. So now in this kind of scenario, if this case is nothing but if the problem is persisting daily basis here, if this is the daily problem here, every day you are receiving so many number of requests through online, at that time you can contact the Salesforce and we can able to extend the daily limit from 500 to some 5,000 also here. That flexibility will be available to you by default. Now, so now we are having that option. If you want to extend the daily Web2 lead limit, then we can contact the Salesforce and extend your organization daily limit. And you can extend your organization daily limit over here. So now this is the way is available in order to extend that daily limits in Salesforce here when coming to the Web2 lead part. So now whenever you are going to be, tell me.
So you said that it's a limit 500 records per day.
Yeah.
So what will happen? I mean, kind of when we have 50,000 records in the queue.
Okay.
The next day, from the 50,000 records, will the next 500 records will be moved to the lead records, or how?
Yes. It will be moving to that lead object automatically in every day. Automatically, this will be getting refreshed to you.
So next day, from this 50,000, the next 500 records will be moved to the lead.
Yes.
So and you'll have 49,500
yes, that
records
will be in that queue. And after that, we can able to contact the Salesforce and we can able to move more number of lead records from the queue to your Salesforce instance also here.
And you said that the limit, you can extend the limit to 5,000.
Yeah.
Is there a way to extend the limit of the queue?
No. Salesforce queue limit is that is fixed for every organization. That queue size cannot be extended. Only your daily organization limit you can able to extend that.
Okay.
Firoz, like again, you got a 49,500 limit in queue, right? So again, you limit that queue has capability to take again the rest of 500 records, right? Hello, hello, hello. Hello,
Hello. Yeah.
hello.
Yeah. Yeah, Ram.
Yes, my question is what, like again, 500 records capacity is available in that queue, right? Again, that queue is eligible to take again one more 500 records, right?
Yes.
Because that 500 records move to lead, then it has a capability to take it again, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the
And
future of Web2 lead that we have.
okay, one more thing, Firoz.
Yeah.
So see, like you told, like basic HTML pages and vanilla pages are available
Yeah.
in Salesforce. But if you want a good graphical interface, so you need to learn that HTML, right?
Yes. By using that HTML,
Okay.
we can design whatever the way that you want that user interface.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in tomorrow's
And one more
session,
thing,
yeah.
Firoz. So can you divide what all concepts comes under developer and what all topics comes under admin part? What so far you discussed many topics, right?
Okay. So I have shared one
Because
two
we are
documents.
in
Inside
yeah.
that the drive, you will be having two PDF documents are there describing the
Hmm.
admin content and the development content both.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And when are we going to start Apex programming?
Apex programming next week. So now next
Okay.
Tuesday, I'm planning to start that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And what will be the next session tomorrow? So can you take it today night, my time?
Yeah, 8:30, Firoz.
Yeah,
Your
sure.
time is 8:30 or 7:30. What time is
8:30. Make it
free for you? 8:30.
8:30.
Okay.
8:30 my time.
So Firoz time
Okay.
8:30
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
night.
Yeah. Night 8:30. My
Yes.
time.
Okay.
Okay. I will
Okay,
send that
Firoz.
email notification to everybody regarding this.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.